Hi everybody. So as I came to resource myself this afternoon, and I haven't gone for a swim because I don't fancy it, although the lake is absolutely beautiful, I wanted to share what I did this morning because I was at a sales workshop. We were invited by our local town who has relationships with different coaches, and this is a coach called Emma Ossola, I think, Emmanuel Ossola, who is all about selling and how to sell. And although the class was in French, it was a whole morning session. There was 10 ladies, no gentlemen, just ladies, all wanting to improve their sales. There was a variety of different clients, people that had their own shops and boutiques, others that were setting up restaurant businesses, and then there was some coaches, a voice coach, an Ikigai coach, and myself as an entrepreneur coach. And I just wanted to share the little golden nuggets that I took from this course, which was very interesting. It's always good to continue improving yourself, to understand new methodologies, new ideas, and see how things go. And so there was 3 points. Always 3, remember. There was 3 points to talk about. And the first one was the arc. Now, obviously, this is in French. An arc with ARC. And ARC stands for C, communication, R, reality, and A, infinity. So we all have an arc to ourselves. And when you want to bring affinity to somebody, you have to communicate to understand their reality, because your reality and their reality could be different. You might think you're expensive, but they think you're cheap. You might see, you all know that woman, the picture of a woman that looks like a woman or it looks like an old lady. Actually, I'll come and edit and bring that picture into this video. So is it an old lady? Is it a young lady? It depends on how you see things, and everybody has their own vision. So when you're selling to somebody, you need to try to understand what is their reality, what is important for them. So you need to communicate and you need to ask questions, and those questions will allow you to reach a certain affinity with that client or potential client. And once you've got the affinity, there might be then the next step would be the désir primordial, so the primal desire. Now, it sounds very, very carnal, but it's all about what does your client actually want. There was a lady who's selling, she's got a beautiful jewelry shop, and she's talking about, she has people that come for wedding rings. Now, obviously, a couple that's coming for a wedding ring, their primal desire might be to have it in the next week because they're getting married in 2 weeks' time. Or their primal desires, she wants loads of diamonds and maybe it takes longer to get. So you don't know what to offer unless you start asking some questions. And those questions can be budget, what is important for you, try to find out what the client wants, what are their problems, before you can start offering the right product. And obviously, when you're going to offer something, you're going to offer it with intention. You know where you're going and you know what you're going to be offering. Because if you don't know what you're offering, then obviously they don't know what they're going to buy. And then there was 2 last points. So when you've gone through the intention part, she said, talk about offering a service. Ask for service and help. Now, I don't like the word help in English. In French, you could say demande du conseil or demande un soutien, to help, to have some sort of support. And so, for example, I'm at the moment organizing a summer camp, or not a summer camp, sorry. I'm organizing an autumn camp, which is going to be in the next few weeks during the half term here in Switzerland. I've got a French one and I've got an English one. And when she says ask for help, tell people what you're doing. Share it with them, because they might not have children that go to your camp, but they might have a friend who's got a child that goes to their camp, or they might know somebody who would be interested, or perhaps they know the doctor from the local school who might be interested to talk about it. So when you ask for a service or you ask somebody to help you, you're not begging them, buy me my product. You're saying, well, could you give me a little hand? Could you share this information? And then there was the last point, which really stuck with me. And I must admit, I got a little bit stuck on this concept. And it's called in French, le coup de gorge, which means, I translated it with deep L, and it says the throat slash, as in cut off your head, cut off your throat. And what does it actually mean? Well, when you go into a shop, if they ask you, you say, I want a pair of size shoes 38. The sales girl should not just say, yes, I have them in size 38. She's got to come back to you and ask you, so you want a pair of shoes size 38? Is that what I've understood? And by reframing the question, not asking, but just reframing exactly the same words as the client's going to say, yes, I do want that pair of shoes in size 38. And there you've closed the deal. Because when you get the client to actually say that they want what you're offering, then it's a lot more difficult to come back. And so this throat slash, as she said, coup de gorge, it's more poetic in French than it is in English. It really stuck with me because I'm like, wow, why would I repeat what somebody says to me? And I know I'm just thinking about this all the time. I'm like, could it really be? But it makes sense, you see, because when you psychologically ask the client, so you want a pair of size 38 shoes? So you want a camp for children? They're going to say yes. And that psychology of saying, yes, that's what I want, makes them stronger in their desire to want your product. So I really, really appreciated that. So Emanuela Ossola, she says in French, she is a créatrice des liens. And a créatrice des liens means a creator of links or of, I don't like the word links. Links as in LinkedIn is not the same, but a lien means a tie, as in tying people together in a poetic way. I think of it as like with a beautiful little ribbon, and the ribbon is putting people together. So I think it's very poetic of her saying she creates friendships, partnerships, connections with people so that they can understand what she can offer. And obviously she is a sales consultant, she's done a lot of selling, and she's got many experiences, and she's putting them all together of her lifetime now, coaching people how to sell. So I want to thank her. I'm going to tag her in this post. I want to say thank you to the Ville de Gland, who also organized this for us. And there you have it. We have the three, the golden nuggets of a sales course that was done this morning. Obviously, we all do, we've all talked of different selling options, and we've heard so many on the internet. But I thought it was interesting to share these golden nuggets, which I hadn't heard of, and it was totally different for me. So ARC, the communication of what my client's reality is to improve affinity. And obviously, the more you talk, the more you communicate, the better you get to understand what their reality is. And if you understand what their reality is, then there'll be a certain affinity, and they'll want to work with you because they'll think you know what they want. And when you understand what your client wants, and the client thinks or believes that he's understood, then it's true that they're going to have a lot more intention of wanting to work with you. So we have the désir primordial, the primal desire of what desire, of what the client wants, and then the throat slash. Make sure that you get to reframe what the client wants and ask him to come back. What do you actually want? You want a pair of size 38 shoes? Don't say, yes, I have it. It's like, that's what you want? And they're going to say yes. So hopefully these tips will help you in your sales and in your interactions with different people. And thanks for listening. That's a small video that I've done while sitting here next to the lake. Isn't it beautiful? Look at that. Can't believe how lucky I am to be in this place. I also want to thank my dear acupuncturist who's just given me a little session, and I'm feeling so zen, and she's like, go and walk barefooted in the grass. And so I came here to resource myself. Have a great day, and we'll be speaking soon.